The diary ended mid-sentence. So did her life. It was a quiet Tuesday in Maple Hollow, Vermont, the kind of town where you greet your neighbor by name, and nothing ever happens, until it does. On March 18, 2017, 24-year-old college student Elena Ridge was reported missing. She hadn't shown up for her shift at the downtown bookstore. Her car was still parked outside her apartment, the door was locked. Her phone, wallet, and keys, inside. But what truly disturbed police wasn't what they found, it was what they didn't. A single spiral-bound journal lay on her kitchen table, a cup of untouched coffee beside it. The final entry? Just 4 chilling words. He's watching me again. Then, nothing. Detective Laura Mendez, lead investigator.
There was no sign of forced entry, no struggle, nothing stolen. It was as if Elena had evaporated mid-thought.
The diary revealed weeks of paranoia, repeated mentions of a man in a blue windbreaker, a car that circled her building, no names, no plates, just fear. Neighbor, Greg Holland, tells police,
I'd see her checking over her shoulder, always locking the door twice. She told me she felt watched. I figured she was just stressed from school.
Surveillance footage from across the street confirmed Elena's final known movements. 7:13 a.m., she walks out of her building. She stops, looks directly into the camera, then turns, and runs back inside. She was never seen again. Forensic teams found no fingerprints besides Elena's and her cat's paw prints tracked across the kitchen floor. No signs of digital intrusion. Her laptop, offline, her phone, powered off at exactly 7:19 a.m. Then, the first twist. 3 weeks later, the same handwriting as Elena's was mailed to the local paper. A scrap of her diary page, a single line. I thought the door was locked. The envelope had no return address, no DNA, postmarked from Albany, New York. Elena had never been there. The case grew darker. Her ex-boyfriend, a man named Tyler Brandt, was brought in for questioning.
Where were you the morning of March 18th, Tyler?
At work. You can check with my manager.
Elena wrote about someone watching her. She wrote about you.
We haven't talked in months. She blocked me. I was out of her life.
Tyler's alibi checked out. Security footage placed him at a coffee shop 40 miles away. Then came the second twist. Elena's phone pinged again. 6 months later, September 2nd, 2017. From a cell tower outside Binghamton, New York. It connected for exactly 47 seconds before powering off forever. Her phone had never left police custody, or so they thought. An internal audit revealed the phone had gone missing from the evidence locker 3 months prior. The officer responsible? Suspended. No charges filed. No explanation ever given. A private investigator hired by Elena's family unearthed one final disturbing clue. In a long-abandoned farmhouse 12 miles from her apartment, a camera was found hidden inside an old mirror. The memory card held 47 hours of footage, mostly dust, empty rooms, but then a woman appears, blonde, small frame, looks directly into the mirror, whispers, "Why are you doing this?" Then silence. The image was too grainy for facial ID, but Elena's mother swears it was her daughter. 7 years have passed, no body, no more sightings, no answers, just an unfinished sentence, and a silence that echoes through Maple Hollow. The only clue left behind, a diary that ended mid-sentence. So did her life. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Elena Ridge, contact the Vermont State Police tip line. This has been Vanished Whispers, True Crime. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because sometimes the loudest screams are the ones that go unheard. Subscribe to this channel for more stories. Gap-2.25s. 2 years after Elena vanished, the case had gone cold. Then, a late-night call to the police tip line reignited the investigation. The voice was distorted, genderless. "You're looking in the wrong place. She's not alone." The call traced to a payphone outside a shuttered motel, 50 miles from Maple Hollow. Security footage showed a hooded figure, face obscured, leaving moments after the call. The message was brief, but the implication was chilling. Was Elena still alive, or was someone playing a cruel game? Gap-2.25s. Police received a package. Inside a USB drive, it contained a single video file. The footage, a dimly lit basement, a woman's voice whispering, "He's here." A shadow moves across the wall. The timestamp? The night Elena disappeared. Forensic analysis was inconclusive. The video could not be traced. But the voice, Elena's mother was certain. It was her daughter. The evidence was sent to the FBI. No further leads emerged. Voiceover. Gap-2.25s. Years have passed. The diary remains locked in evidence. The farmhouse stands empty. The phone, the video, the calls, no answers. The town of Maple Hollow remembers Elena Ridge, the girl whose story ended mid-sentence. Somewhere someone knows the truth, but for now, the silence remains. The case is still open. The mystery endures. Voiceover. Detective Laura Mendez sits across from Emily Carter, a local resident who has just stepped forward with new information. Emily's hands tremble as she recounts seeing Elena Ridge on the night she vanished, arguing with a shadowy figure near the old railway crossing. But as the detective presses for details, Emily's story shifts. Times change, descriptions blur, and her gaze flickers nervously to the floor. The official transcript captures these inconsistencies. Emily insists she heard shouting but hesitates when asked to describe the unknown person. Then, in the background of the interview recording, a faint but distinct sound emerges, the distant clang of metal echoing from Maple Hollow's abandoned train yard. Detective Mendez pauses the tape, realizing this background noise could point to a location investigators have overlooked. Emily's testimony, though uncertain, opens a new avenue in the case. As the interview ends, the mystery deepens. Was Emily withholding the truth, or simply haunted by what she saw? The investigation isn't over. The search for answers continues. Voiceover. Greg Holland kneels on the creaking floorboards of Elena Ridge's childhood bedroom, his flashlight beam catching something unusual, a jagged edge of paper protruding from a gap in the wood. He pries the board loose, uncovering a small bundle of torn, yellowed diary pages, their edges curled with age and fear. As the camera pans over the fragile sheets, Elena's handwriting reveals a world she kept hidden. Secret meetings in shadowed corners, cryptic messages exchanged in code, and a growing sense of paranoia that seeped into every entry. Her words tremble with urgency. She writes of someone watching her, of not knowing whom to trust. Police transcripts overlaid on the screen capture Elena's frantic late-night phone calls, her voice pleading for help, begging someone to believe her. Each fragment of evidence paints a darker picture, a web of secrets, and the chilling possibility that the conspiracy involved someone she knew all too well. The discovery of the diary pages changes everything, casting new suspicion and deepening the mystery that shrouds Elena's disappearance. Voiceover. A sudden break in the silence. A call comes into the police station. The voice on the other end heavily distorted, warped beyond recognition. The transcript appears on screen, each line more unsettling than the last. The caller speaks in riddles, referencing the alley behind the train station, a broken watch, and a name only those closest to Elena would recognize. Detective Mendez and Greg, fueled by urgency and dread, trace the call's origin to a long-abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. Inside, their flashlights sweep across dust-choked shadows. The beam lands on a bundle of blood-stained clothing stuffed behind a pile of rotting crates. Nearby, a hidden camera, its red light long dead but its memory card still intact, lies half-buried in debris. The evidence is raw, visceral, and terrifyingly personal. As Detective Mendez bags the items, Greg's hands tremble. The anonymous tip has led them one step closer to the truth, but the danger and the darkness now feels closer than ever. Voiceover. In a stark, windowless interrogation room, Detective Mendez sits across from the primary suspect. The atmosphere is thick with tension. The only sounds a ticking clock and the shuffle of evidence files. Mendez lays out the diary pages, the witness statements, and the recovered surveillance footage, each piece building pressure, each fact chipping away at the suspect's composure. At first, the suspect is defiant, insisting on innocence. But as the evidence mounts, their resolve crumbles. Voice wavering, the suspect begins to speak, a confession not to murder but to a desperate cover-up. They weave a story of jealousy, betrayal, and fear. They admit to hiding evidence, to lying to protect themselves, but swear they never intended for anyone to get hurt. The confrontation is raw, captured in a tense police transcript. Every word, every pause, every tearful admission is documented. Yet, even as the suspect's secrets spill out, one question remains. If not them, then who is truly responsible for Elena's disappearance? The case, it seems, is far from over. Voiceover. The truth at last emerges from the shadows. Forensic experts pore over the hidden camera footage frame by frame, unraveling a story more complex than anyone had imagined. Elena, determined to break free from a suffocating relationship, meticulously staged her own disappearance, her every move a calculated act of desperation and hope. But her plan was fatally compromised. The footage reveals a chilling betrayal. Someone she once called a friend sabotaged her escape, sealing her fate. In a quiet, candlelit room, Greg's voice trembles as he reads Elena's final diary entry. Her words, raw and honest, echo with longing for freedom and fear of the unknown. Detective Mendez, weary but resolute, contemplates the emotional toll the case has taken, not just on himself, but on everyone touched by Elena's story. As the truth reverberates through the community, there is a collective sense of mourning and relief. Elena's story, though tragic, brings long-awaited closure. Justice, in its own imperfect way, is finally served. Voiceover. Just as the dust seems to settle, a new voice emerges from the shadows, a witness who claims to have seen everything, yet remained silent out of fear. In a dimly lit interview room, the anonymous figure recounts a night shrouded in secrets. Their testimony sends shockwaves through the investigation. They insist Elena was not alone when she vanished, and that the so-called friend accused of betrayal was, in fact, trying to protect her. This revelation throws the entire narrative into question. Detective Mendez, already haunted by the case, now grapples with the possibility that the truth is far more elusive and dangerous than anyone realized. The community, once united in closure, is plunged back into uncertainty. As the witnesses' words echo in the room, the case is cracked wide open once again, leaving everyone to wonder, what really happened to Elena, and who can truly be trusted? Voiceover. In the quiet aftermath of the latest revelations, the focus shifts to those left behind, Elena's family. Inside their home, time seems to stand still. Faded photographs line the mantelpiece. Her laughter lingers in the corners, now replaced by a haunting silence. Elena's mother clings to hope, her eyes searching every shadow for answers that never come. Her father, once a pillar of strength, now drifts through each day, burdened by memories and what-ifs. The family's grief is raw, an ache that words cannot ease. Each new twist in the investigation reopens wounds that never truly healed. At night, Elena's younger brother sits by her empty bed, tracing the patterns in her diary, desperate for a clue, a sign, anything to make sense of the chaos. The unanswered questions grow heavier with each passing day. Where is Elena? What really happened that night? And will the truth ever bring peace, or only more pain? As the town speculates and the investigation stumbles forward, the family's sorrow remains constant, a silent testament to the cost of secrets and the agony of not knowing. In their heartbreak, viewers are reminded, behind every unsolved mystery, there are real lives forever changed and a longing for closure that endures long after the headlines fade. Voiceover. As the investigation drags on, a startling discovery emerges, one that casts the entire case in a new, chilling light. Late one night, detectives review overlooked phone records from the days leading up to Elena's disappearance. A string of encrypted messages links two unlikely suspects, the quiet school librarian, Miss Harper, and the local mechanic, Tom Reeves. On the surface, their lives never intersected, but the messages reveal a clandestine relationship stretching back months, a secret pact forged in shared desperation. The texts hint at a mutual secret, something they both stood to lose if the truth came out. References to the night at the old mill and pleas to keep it buried suggest more than just a casual friendship. Investigators realize that both Miss Harper and Tom provided shaky alibis, ones that suddenly unravel under this new scrutiny. Neighbors recall seeing Tom's truck parked outside the library after hours, while surveillance footage places Miss Harper near Elena's neighborhood the evening she vanished. As these connections come to light, the investigation's focus shifts dramatically. Were they working together to hide something bigger than anyone imagined? And if so, what secret was worth risking everything to protect? This revelation reframes every previous theory, casting suspicion on motives and alliances that had gone unnoticed. The search for Elena is no longer just about uncovering what happened to her, but about exposing the tangled web of secrets that ensnared her and the town itself. Voiceover. As dawn breaks over the quiet town, the truth remains just out of reach, hidden in the shadows cast by those sworn to protect it. With Miss Harper and Tom Reeves under scrutiny, investigators dig deeper, but every answer seems to birth new questions. The old mill stands silent, its secrets locked behind weathered doors and whispered warnings. Rumors ripple through the community. Some say Elena was seen in a distant city, others claim she never left at all, yet for every theory there is doubt. The encrypted messages, the secret pact, the web of lies, none have led to Elena. Her room remains untouched, a shrine to a life interrupted. Her family clings to hope, even as the evidence grows colder with each passing day. Some nights, locals report seeing a figure near the riverbank, vanishing before anyone can get close. Is it a grieving parent, a guilty conscience, or something more elusive, an echo of Elena herself, forever out of reach? The case remains open, its file thick with contradictions and unresolved leads, and as the sun sets once more, the town is left waiting, haunted by the possibility that the truth may never be found. What really happened to Elena? Who can be trusted in a place built on secrets? And will the answers ever emerge from the darkness? Or is this mystery destined to remain unsolved, echoing in the hearts of those left behind? The story continues just beyond the edge of the light.